I recently gave up smoking. Will the damage I have done over 10 years eventually recover? Can my lungs self-repair, says David.
Well, David, first of all, well done.
Yes.
It's a really big deal giving up smoking. I must admit, I used to smoke myself. Not proud of it, especially as a doctor, but I did. So well done. It can be really hard, and stick with it, okay? So 10 years. Thankfully, in the grand scheme of things, 10 years isn't a huge amount of time to have been smoking. So you should be able to get a good amount of repair, okay? So it goes through phases. One of the things that smoking does is all the tiny little hairs that line your airways essentially get burnt off and damaged by smoking. So one of the first things to start coming back is those hairs. And what those hairs do is they're designed to waft all the rubbish up out of your lungs, and you'll actually sometimes get a bit more of a cough as those start to kick in and they start to clear all the gunk that's accumulated down there over the years of smoking, as that kind of wafts back up. So first of all, it is normal to expect a little bit more of a cough when you're recovering, when you stop smoking, okay? But really, in terms of 10 years, you should be starting to see really good recovery. And they say that if there's a famous statistic somewhere that if you stop smoking by the age of 30, thankfully, it really doesn't have that much influence on your mortality from smoking. Now that really doesn't say that you should smoke up to the age of 30 and just give up. So I'm really not saying that, but it's saying that actually you have a good scope for recovery. So over 10 years, you hopefully haven't done enough damage to cause yourself significant changes to the structure of your lungs, things like COPD and causing fibrosis within the lung tissue itself. So hopefully that's not established. So hopefully you should be able to, over the years, go back to normal lung function. But well done.
Well done indeed. And what's an interesting thing is you've said there that you've stopped smoking, and a lot of people say, "Oh, I've given up smoking." But what I like to say is, no, you haven't given up. You've escaped. Yeah, because smoking. Again, I was silly. I smoked for a while as well. But if you think you've given up something, then there's always that temptation to go back. But if you think you've escaped something and escaped, the big cigarette companies, the Philip Morris's and so on and so forth, putting all those chemicals in to get us addicted in the first place. So if you see something as escaping from it, then you never really want to go back. And I say it's kind of the same as well with carbohydrates. Once you realise that it's carbs that put on the weight, and you're trying to keep your weight off. I don't say, I've given up bread. I've escaped that sort of that trap and escaped the Coca-Cola trap and so on. And my tip always, because I used to run a lot of courses about how to stop smoking, and all the companies I've ever run, I always used to run courses. And one I always said, the first thing is, you haven't escaped, so you haven't given up, you've escaped, but also there's no such thing as one, and that's always the thing, isn't it? Don't ever think I can just have one, because they are so. I always say it's never your own fault if you smoke. It's never your fault. It's that something happened, you had one, and then you thought, oh, that's so horrible, I couldn't get addicted to that, and then before you know it, you become addicted. So they are manufactured for addiction, and there's no such thing as one. So just keep remembering you've escaped, but never try and have that one.